What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Woo! Going to you live, broadcasting from the $400 studio. Come one, come all. Hear ye, hear ye. We have court docs. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wait till a few more people come in and get started. We got a lot of court docs. Happy Mother's Day in advance to all the mothers that are out there, especially those who are watching this live and support this channel. I appreciate all of you. The mysterious case that I promised would be made available to members only is uploading as I speak. Y'all are something else. You can't make that up. What's going on, Kandia? How you doing? Yeah, I had a troll leave a comment talking about you spend too much time talking to the people, greeting people. I show support and show love to my supporters. Kick rocks. I was like, oh, hey mom, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you too. I love ya. Yes, I do. Granny G, good evening, LLC. Happy Mother's Day. Same to you. Laura Reacts. How you doing? I'm still waiting on Miss Mandy to email me. I know we probably all busy, but still waiting. Y'all say hello to my mom. Rhonda's in the house. That's my mother. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. I'm going to this is based on just my horrible habit of doing late live streams. This is probably first time I've been able to actually do one a little earlier. It's still 9:30. But I just finished the video for the members only and went over a whole case. Many documents in that court case that I went over that is available to the members only. Members only. Yep. Because I appreciate you all and I thank you all for supporting this channel and supporting what we're doing here in LLC. Listen, y'all, lawsuits have juicy stuff in it. And because, you find it boring, it's a lot of legalese, you miss out on so much. I got caught up on Flint, Michigan, reading Jedediah's lawsuit. I'm be honest, I don't need to watch all the other videos. Plus, it just sounds like it's more or less the same what's happening in Dolton, and it's another headache. But I'm gonna let y'all handle that. We have great content that we're putting out. I told you all I'm gonna still report on Super Stupid until she goes to prison, and I'm going to do that then. But you guys in Dolton, the new Pope is from Dolton. So I'm just gonna say this right now. The concept of we don't want any more lights, cameras, actions, and stuff shining a spotlight. We've had enough of it for 4 years. Yeah, brace yourself to have that doubled down. It's like, the Pope said, hold my beer. No, wait, hold my glass of wine. They all drink wine, right? They drink wine. Jesus drank wine. It is what it is. He turned water into wine. If it was a bad thing, he would not have done that. He would have been like, nope, leaving this as water. No one told you all drinking wine was a good thing. And Jesus performed miracles turning water into wine. So wine is obviously okay. So Pope said, hold my wine. I'm from Dolton. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to have people all over the world coming to Dolton, Illinois to do, docuseries and, let's get an upbringing on the Pope and where he's from and what he was exposed to and, get a glimpse of his neighborhood. All of that is to come. News, other platforms, they're going to be doing docuseries. They do it with every Pope. That's not something uncommon. It happens with every Pope, especially when, it's kind of unorthodox. This is the first Pope to be, Pope, and he's from the U.S., is my understanding. And he just happened to be from Dolton, Illinois. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. So, no, you guys have a lot more media coming your way. You might as well get over it. Get those businesses up and running. Clean up them gas stations. Get the street sweepers going. Y'all have a lot of visitors about to come. Get them hotels open. I'm gonna need St. Patrick's to not take 2 hours to make tacos. Y'all better learn how to hire some staff and cooks and sous chefs and all that good stuff so you guys can, I foresee business booming. Just, comes with the territory when the Pope is from Dolton, Illinois. Oh man. And listen, brace yourselves for good and bad attention. You're just not going to be able to escape it when the Pope is from Dolton. It is what it is. You just got to be able to handle it. All right. Let's get some more comments in. Naru Reacts. Thank you for joining us. Rodney Brown. Thank you so much. Tell your mom, sister, wife, any women in your family that are mothers, please tell them I said Happy Mother's Day. My mom said, hey, Conditioner Williams. Who's a Conditioner Williams? Candia. It's Candia. Candia. Yeah. Sorry. It's Tea with Trustees was off the chain. Dolton moving forward. I know. I heard it was. I caught part of Minion's live stream he was doing where he actually was covering the was a video. I think Trina, somebody was doing what they were going to. I think it was Trina. She went to the school, a couple of areas that the Pope grew up in, attended school. So that's why I say you guys need to brace yourselves for a lot more, media coverage, a lot more, news press. Everybody's going to be coming because they want to see, the upbringing of this Pope. So you should be excited. I know that's pretty good news. It's going to help bring back revenue and everything. So you could take this opportunity to make the most out of it and understand, Super Stupid wasn't just a horrible person who brought negative attention to Dolton, but you have an opportunity to change that and turn it around and make something good out of it. And I'm excited for you guys in Dolton. And I foresee, like I said, businesses starting to flourish and, grow, and seeing that the Pope is going to definitely get some attention brought to Dolton. People are going to want to go there and visit. So that kind of goes hand in hand. It's to be expected. Yay. Yay. So y'all about to get busy up there. Let's see. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Oh, my mom corrected it. All right, yeah. Candia. They declined. The Foyer Queen LLC. She gets it ASAP. Oh, yeah. Y'all, that video that's uploaded for members only. Let me make sure. I'm going to check on that. See if it's finished. Yeah, it's done. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. But it's an entire court case. Not all of the documents in the case docket, but it's an older case, but it has the goody stuff. And then the twist at the end. Let me tell you something. It's going to blow your mind away. So if you're not a member, please consider becoming a member to the LLC. I appreciate all of y'all's support. I still need to get with Dear World Christian. I have not had time to do that myself and to reach out to figure out how to get the 10 free memberships, my Lord, that YouTube gives us each month. And like I said, last time I tried, it still took me to the payment portion where I had to pay for it. And I was like, oh my God. Can't keep doing that, unfortunately. I wish I could. Financially, I just can't right now. But you know what? When we get to the point where the channel is growing and I can buy 10 memberships for everybody, I will each month, along with the 10 that comes for free. But I want to give out the freebies. That's the whole intent. So I still need to get with him. I'll probably text him after I'm done with the live. We're not going to be too long, you guys. And I don't want to go into, read all of the court documents. I have a lot. I'm going to show them, but I'm not going to read word for word on everything. Hey, Rodney, Lady Luck, we will be boots on the ground for you and Dolton. Absolutely. Please do. Please do. I'm still going to be reporting on Super Stupid till she goes to prison. But, when there's something that's definitely going to make global news about anything dealing with the Pope, please feel free. Go out, record. Myself and other YouTubers, we'll talk about it. It's going to be news. It's going to be global news. So, yep. Hey, Skeeter, how you and Mark doing? Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Mother's Day to you too. Thank you so much. It's all good. Autocorrect is not my name. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I had to ask you how to pronounce it. So I just wanted to make sure I don't disrespect anybody with the name and anything. My mother means well. She does. I cook chicken, Mom, and some beans. So You get you a plate tomorrow before the boys eat all the chicken. Might get you a plate tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day. All right. The business creation process has started in Dolton. It has. I'm very happy to hear that. I know in the last 2-3 good board meetings, Jason House has already started approving business license and permits and those types of things. So listen, the type of businesses that are up and coming is what's there. Obviously, it's what's in demand. And you certainly can't tell anybody what type of business to have. So if you don't like liquor stores, you just have to get over it. Unless you're going to be sitting here funding businesses for other people, you got to get over it. You hear the goons out here talking about liquor stores and liquor stores. It's the businesses that's flourishing. It's still a business. Get over it. Are you going to sit here and give these people a different business? If not, then it is what it is. You can't tell somebody what type of business to have. Crazy, right? To think that it can dictate that. You complain about something you can't do anything about. Yeah, prices. Oh man, the trolls. They something else. All righty. Let's get to it. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. They already gained to the pics of his childhood home. Yeah, I think that's what I didn't catch the entire live stream of Minion with Opinion. Guys, make sure you go check him out too. He has great content on his channel. And if I have a mod in here, can you put Minion's YouTube channel link in the comment in the chat so you guys can go check out the video he did today, where he was using, I think he was just kind of utilizing Trina's live stream, where she did go to a couple of the places that the Pope attended school, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't catch the entire live, but I think that's it's just a good learning opportunity, especially if you're there to learn more about the upbringings of the Pope. You got a lot more news coverage coming your way. Oh yeah. Yeah, Klein LSC get an interview with Keith Freeman here. He's a nice guy now. It's if he come on my platform, I'm gonna tell him flat out he can kick rocks. That's gonna be the first thing I tell him. And then I'm gonna say, you owe the Village of Dolton an employee. Too many meetings he's been in where he was just downright nasty, rude, and disrespectful. And then you still owe the Village of Robbins money. So I would have to be, just blunt and honest and on my platform. So I hollered out he would want to do it. I hollered out he would want to do it. Hey Bob, how you doing? Welcome. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey Laura. Thank you so much. If you guys can please make sure you put the link to Minion with Opinions YouTube channel in the chat. And that way you guys can check out the video he did today regarding the Pope. I think it's just worth watching. Especially if you're in Dolton. It's definitely worth watching. Hi Donna. How you doing? Mark said hello. Tell him I said what's up. Like lucky number 13. Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Candia. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. All right, let's get to it. Y'all ready? Lawrence Gardner. This is the gentleman, for those who don't know. Lawrence Gardner is the resident that was first, I guess, to publicize that he had been speaking with the FBI. Hopefully in the documents that we're going to go over, he did address that he was raided and arrested and just had retaliation all across the board. And I mean, when you're dealing with super stupid, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't find that hard to believe. So, Jedediah Clown, how come Kandia is a mod? Laura, you still hating for what? We're not doing that. I have my mods that are mods. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. Some of them I did handpick. Some of them I just, they volunteered. This is something they have to volunteer their time to do. But no, I'm not keeping her on no leash. I'm gonna need you to calm down. Yeah, I handled the trolls. You better leave my mods alone. Leave my mods alone. No, nobody's here, and we still haven't deleted your comment yet. Nobody's harassing anybody. Don't go spreading that. Don't do all that nonsense on my platform. You get on somewhere with all that. There's a fake account in her name too. There's a fake Laura Rec account. And there's a great difference between. One of them is my mod and the other one isn't. I actually blocked the fake one from my channel. So Laura, make sure you do the same. Just put that YouTube channel link in and block the fake account. Why even sit here and name a channel after somebody like that? She doesn't have a YouTube channel. So why do that? Other than to be annoying. It's silly. Come up with something else. Just you know you're gonna get blocked. So it's gonna force them to have to be creative and come up with a new name either way. And I'll still know the difference. So what sense does that make? One thing's for sure, you can't fool me over here. No. And with a name like Jedediah Clown. Am I really to take you seriously? I will not take you seriously, clown. We're not doing that. I'm not taking you serious. Don't worry about it, Laura. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hey, you can't take Jedediah Clown serious. Come on now. Coming after my mods. Don't do that. Yeah, no, we all know that. We all know that. It's all good. Y'all ready to go over this stuff? And if Jedi Clown still wants to hear and don't spread no lies or anything. Don't do all that. If you keep doing it though, you will get removed. I always tell my mods, let me know before you delete or block somebody. That way I can see what's happening here. Because I do believe in free speech. But not at the expense of knowing that there's a fake account out there with her name. That makes no sense. Come on now. You're all good. We all good. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you can see. I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. We're going to go over this stuff. I'm not going to be too long. But you guys, if you're a member, check out that mysterious case. You got to watch it. It is good stuff. And if you're not a member, become a member. That's the only way you're going to see it. All right. Here's the cover sheet for the lawsuit between Lawrence Gardner. It's just a couple pages long, kind of standard when it comes to the civil procedure. So you guys can see the civil cover sheet form that is utilized when it comes to federal lawsuits. Their civil procedure. All right, let's get to this. Here's the complaint. Lawrence Gardner and E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse versus the mayor, super stupid, individually and officially as mayor of Village of Dolton, Inspector Kim Alston, Lacey Potato Head, and Village of Dolton and Illinois Municipal Corporation. There's a jury demand, case number 24CV11825. This is 13 pages long. So I'm going to just kind of go over. We have a few documents to get through. He has an answer to Lacey did an answer to complaint, and stupid did something. And then there's another motion. So I want to be able to just kind of show at least documents, and then you guys can, watch the replay and take time to pause, slow down the speed. However, to read these documents, they are not readily available online. Go figure. So let's thank Tina P for going and retrieving these documents for us to check out on her Pacer account. I finally have mine up and running and fixed. But as always, I have some of the greatest supporters in the world, and she does not mind pulling the documents out of Pacer. So yay! We have access to court documents, even when they're not just available online, but you can still do a FOIA for it. You just won't be able to, trust me, I've tried 1,000 ways. You will not be able to just Google and find these documents. So, yay. All right. So I'm going to just cite defendants as defendants. Lawrence Gardner and E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse, buying through counsel, Gregory E. Coolis and Associates, complains of, and then defendants listed as follows. The parties, all relevant times. Plaintiff E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse was a valid Illinois LLC. Plaintiff Lawrence Gardner was an individual residing in Cook County and owner of E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse. Defendant Dime at all times relevant was the mayor. I don't take her seriously. Was the mayor of Dolton, acting individually and officially as mayor of Dolton. So even with her no longer being the mayor, they can still proceed forward with issuing a judgment against her in her individual capacity, which is why it's imperative when you're suing these elected officials to list them individually and officially. The defendant, Lacey Potato Head, at all relevant times was the police officer for the village of Dolton, acting under the color of law and within the scope of his employment. Defendant Kim Alston, whose name keeps coming up and stuff. Keep coming up and stuff. It's weird. Let's see. You guys can see in here. I want to make sure because my StreamYard was acting really dumb a couple days ago. So, all right, cool. Just checking in because I have this full screen, so I can't see what's going on StreamYard. So hold it down, Laura. Hold it down. But either way, the defendant Kim Alston at all relevant times was the city inspector of Dolton, acting within her scope of authority and under color and authority of law, jurisdiction, and venue. This court does have jurisdiction over this action and pursuant to the Illinois State Statute Code cited because the action arises within the state of Illinois against a municipal corporation organized under the laws of the state. This court also has jurisdiction because this action presents actual controversies or claims arising under Illinois law, Illinois Constitution, and the U.S. Constitution. C 735 ILCS 5/2-701. That is the Illinois state statute cited here. And jurisdiction further lies pursuant to, and this is federal statutes here. When you see USC, that's the United States Code. Statute 1331/1343 and supplemental jurisdiction. All right, factual allegations. Here's where it gets good and juicy. Y'all ready? At all times relevant, plaintiff Lawrence Gardner was the rightful owner and tenant of the property located at 1330 E 42nd Street in Dolton. Plaintiff Lawrence Gardner purchased property and started E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse in the early part of April 21. E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse LLC operated its business in the premise and promised defendant village of Dolton to make repairs to the property, putting up an escrow of $1,000. In September 21, the plaintiff filed for a business license. The plaintiff was told he could operate pending the license process. The plaintiff made repairs to his property. On May 3rd, 22, plaintiff's business was shut down by Village of Dolton Police Department and Commander Lacey, despite the property being within code and approved by the Village of Dolton inspectors. So if he has evidence, of course, to show that he was not only told he could operate while the license was being was pending to be signed, but he's making repairs based on what seems to be an inspection done by Kim Alston, which is why all of her inspections need to be questioned because she wasn't certified or licensed to be an inspector. So how does one know that she was actually doing the inspections based on ordinances, laws, rules, regulations, or anything? She didn't have a certification. Good grief. On June 6, or on or about June 6, 22, the plaintiff was given a license for his business. On or about January 22nd, 23, the plaintiff held a business party at his business location and was cited for no business license and unauthorized liquor sales. But he was given a license. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I foresee this getting real dumb on Super Stupid's part because y'all see why I call her Super Stupid? Just stupid, do stupid things with no justification. Plaintiff was not selling alcohol. Plaintiff Lawrence Gardner was initially found liable by an administrative court of the Village of Dolton for unauthorized sale of alcohol on February 16, 23. Plaintiff was found not liable on the other charges. On March 16, 23, plaintiff filed a pro se administrative review action, and they have the case here cited, Gardner v. Village of Dolton 2023-M-602509. In case you guys wanted to check that out, challenging the February 16, 23 finding. The defendant Village of Dolton ignored the summons and action, and an order of default was entered against it on May 22nd, 23. On May 27th, 23, rather than comply with the court's order, the defendant, Village of Dolton, closed Gardner's business, claiming it was not approved for occupancy, and put out stickers and notices announcing the closing of the property. Now tell me how. How is it They should not be charged or held in contempt for violating the court order. How? There was a judgment entered, an order of default. This has to come from a court of law. And the village of Dolton on May 27, 23 failed to comply with that court order. More than likely because Super Stupid still doesn't know how to read. Violating court orders, but yet the goons are going to sit here and swear, well, she's doing a good thing by getting rid of the liquor stores and blah, blah, blah. Why you violate court orders? See, this is why I love reading court documents. They violated a whole ass court order from a judge in a court of law who went to law school. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. More reason of her criminality. It's a crime to break the law, is it not? Let me know where I missed that. Somehow, this alternate reality her and her dumbass goons want to reside in does not permit them to follow court orders, I guess. I mean, remember, people, this is the same person that was once upon a time charged with indirect criminal contempt of court. So violating a court order is just like a common thing for her. You got to threaten to lock her ass up to get her to do right. Crazy. So they closed the business against court order, claiming it was not approved for occupancy with no proof, and put out stickers and notices announcing the closing of the property unlawfully. On August 16, 23, judgment was entered in a Cook County court for plaintiff Lawrence Gardner and defendant Village of Dolton was ordered to pay costs. To date, the defendant Village of Dolton has not paid costs due to Lawrence Gardner. Has this not come up in the agenda? I know this is old. I know it's old. Let me not jump the gun. This is old. Okay. The closure of the E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse LLC business and allegedly revoking its business license were in violation of plaintiff's due process rights in that no notice or hearing was provided before summary action was taken. Upon inquiries, plaintiff Lawrence Gardner was told to talk to the defendant, the mayor. Plaintiff Lawrence Gardner attempted to talk to her defendant, and she walked away because, you know, she's a petulant child throwing a tantrum. In an effort to further deprive Lawrence Gardner, E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse LLC from access and use of the property, the defendant, Super Stupid, has used her private security and the Village of Dolton Police Department to obstruct allowing anyone to enter the property. Against a whole ass court order. Defendant Mayor Super Stupid has put out a verbal edict that no one was allowed on the property. Because she said so against court order? Who cares? She doesn't override the court. In furtherance of this edict, defendant Kim Alston and Commander Potato Head came out to the property in Village of Dolton Police Department and cleared the property of Lawrence Gardner and his family, who are holding a family celebration of life on March 25th, 2023. A family celebration of life. Someone passed away. They were having a repast. Is that what I'm just kind of interpreting this to be of a repast? Maybe a family reunion dinner. Either way, he had his family there. And he had a whole court order. They just like, we don't care. Defendant Kim Alston and the Village of Dolton Police Department did not have a warrant to enter the premises because, you know, they don't care about breaking laws. This action was conducted by a directive of Mayor Super Stupid. There was no exigent circumstances requiring the Village of Dolton authorities to enter the premises. The actions of the defendants were done under color of law and within their scope of employment. The actions of defendants were intentional, willful, and wanton. Plaintiff Lawrence Gardner's property was raided approximately 11 times, because you can't make this up. Holy moly. 11 times without a warrant or exigent circumstances as a result of directives from this goon of a moron of an Ewok alien that does not belong on our planet and Commander Potato Head. I have no respect for them. That's why I don't say their names like that. When raids occurred in question, the plaintiffs were informed that it was out of our hands and the mayor sent us. Well, never mind the court order. You can't make this up. Hold on, y'all. I'm just checking in to make sure y'all can still see it here. Because this is crazy. Hold on, hold on. Oh Lord, the clown is acting up. Lord, you didn't say anything rude to display. If something happened with that fake account, the comment would still be there under the fake account's name in profile. It wouldn't even. Y'all have two different profiles, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Cool. Just want y'all to be good. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Oh boy. So them saying is out of our hands, we're just following orders. Have we not heard that through human history enough? My God. On one occasion, April 6, 23, defendant Village of Dolton police officer defendant Dum Dum near Potato Head illegally entered the property and threw plaintiff Lawrence Gardner against a desk, causing plaintiff extreme injury and pain. He has a nag for just having wrongful deaths and, excessive force charges, just sheer incompetence filed against him repeatedly over and over and over and over again. At some point, I wish someone would have reported him to the Illinois State Police Department. Somebody could have stripped him of his power. And these lawsuits are not moving fast enough through the court. Just be honest. Because this particular lawsuit is still pending. It's still open. It's still an open case. Oh my God. So he put his hands on him, threw him against a desk, causing extreme injury and pain. Same potato head that's caused wrongful death. I mean, just goodness. The actions of the defendant mayor in directing the actions of defendant Kim Alston and Potato Head were a violation of the plaintiff's due process rights as protected by the 14th Amendment. Kim Alston got it coming. You got it coming. There's no way the FBI is not looking into you. There's no way. You're named in too many lawsuits, federal lawsuits at that. Way too many. Can we just go back to the fact that the other lawsuit between the former employee, Vaughn, Mr. Vaughn, indicated she peed in an alley? Public urination in an alley where others could actually see and observe it. Oh man, the actions of illegally entering and searching the plaintiff's property violated the plaintiff's 14th Amendment rights as protected by 42 U.S.C. Statute 1983. Because it does. You don't have a warrant or anything. All right, so count one, due process rights. They re-alleged paragraphs 1 through 37. They state as a result of defendant's actions from January 23 to present, plaintiffs suffered monetary loss of business damages, emotional distress, and anxiety. And let's not forget, the excessive force of some potato head with a pillow top ass sitting here throwing somebody against a desk. The irony of it all. He going to prison. I'm so glad he was indicted. I don't know what to do. All right. So, and you guys are going to see this kind of repeated throughout each count here. Wherefore the plaintiff prays, honorable court grant judgment in the favor against the defendant. So you'll see that kind of repeated out through the document. Count two, illegal search. The defendant, Commander Lacey, Potato Head, with other Dolton police officers entered the property approximately 11 times without warrant. This violated his 14th Amendment rights. And I'm kind of just skimming over each count because I want to get to the responses and the other documents I have. The actions of the defendants interrupted the quiet use and enjoyment of plaintiff Gardner of his property and interference with the business of E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse. As a result of the actions, defendants Kim Alston and the commander, the plaintiff suffer fear, anxiety, injury, interference. So you'll see this repeated as well in each count. Count three, excessive force by Commander the Potato Head. He's the worst. He's just the worst person ever. Next to Super Stupid and Kim Alston and Keith Freeman and Keith McChicken Nugget. I can keep going. Good grief. All right. His excessive force caused the plaintiff to be physically injured as a result of his actions, throwing him against a desk after you unlawfully entered his property like a dictator. Ugh. The actions of defendant Lacey were excessive, unreasonable, and unwarranted. They were intentional, willful, and wanton. They violated plaintiff's Fourth Amendment rights. It's protected by 42 USC Statute 1983. Count 4, false arrest, June 11, 23. So they took his liberty and freedom again. On or about June 10, 23, plaintiff was lawfully on his property without just cause or a warrant. The defendant entered the property. The plaintiff was not committing a crime or breaking any laws. Without just cause or provocation, the defendant, Potato Head, arrested the plaintiff for obstruction of justice, battery, and resisting arrest. How do you go on someone else's property and then claim they battered you when you shouldn't even be on their property? What an idiot he is. He's a moron that deserves to go to prison forever on all those 9 counts of bankruptcy fraud. The irony of it. Now he's indicted and trying to change his name somewhere. Last time I heard, trying to change his name to what? Dum Dum? I don't understand this. It's not going to change your name on court documents. It's not going to help you escape the penalty of your actions. You're not going to escape the consequences of it. Super stupid, kept incompetent people around her. And it's just, you get to see even more how incompetent they are in these court documents. Oh my God. All right. So he violated Fourth Amendment rights. Seeking more damages. Count 5, false arrest, July 2023. Good grief. When was the first one? June 11, July 2023. On or about July of 2023, the plaintiff was within his property with signs and protesters protesting against the actions of defendant Super Stupid. Without just cause or warrant, the defendant entered the property again. Commander Potato Head. The plaintiff, Lawrence Gardner, was not committing any crime breaking laws. Without just cause or provocation, the defendant arrested the plaintiff, Lawrence Gardner, for several charges, including illegal assembly and illegal protest. How do you deem a protest and an assembly illegal on his property? So Potato Head doesn't know the Constitution at all, not even a little bit. Just refuses to read. You all see why I just mercilessly I have no respect for them. None. They won't even respect the rights of others. And he was supposed to be a whole cop. Good grief. And this is nuts. How do you deem an assembly or protest illegal? And it's on their property? It's like going into somebody's house and saying, I'm arresting you all for having dinner at the table. I find this to be highly illegal. What? Oh, man, it's so Gestapo-ish. It doesn't make sense. Oh my God. The actions of Commander were intentional, willful, wanton. So like I said, you guys are going to see these like last 2-3 paragraphs just kind of repeated. Count 6, false arrest, again, January 1, 2024. They're going to owe him so much money. These false arrests. Oh man. I don't understand why they would not want to settle this case. Let me see. Maybe they did. Has this case been settled? We got over 100 people watching. You make sure you hit that like button because you know you can't get these court documents nowhere else. This is Gestapo-ish in nature. You know, some people get kind of finicky when you say, this is no different than what they did to, in World War II. They get offended. No, it's the same behavior and the same mentality. She kept stupid people around her, and they just did her bidding and followed orders, not caring about the repercussions. It's just dictatorship all over the place. Incarcerating people without just cause. Are you kidding? This is the 3rd time this man has been arrested. Jesus, it didn't learn from the first 2. Okay. On or about January 1 of 2024, on New Year's, plaintiff was on his property. Once again, Potato Head fat ass showed up. He did not have a warrant or exigent circumstances. The plaintiff was not committing a crime or breaking laws without just cause or provocation. Once again, he arrested plaintiff Gardner for illegal alcohol and illegal assembly, which he cannot dictate what's illegal when it comes to the right to assemble. That is a whole federal law. I don't think Potato Head is intelligent enough to read words with more than 3 syllables, just like his so-called, I guess, cult leader, Super Stupid. I'm not even trying to take away accountability from these goons that surrounded themselves around her. But this screams cult-like as well. When someone is just easily able to just tell you to break laws while they break laws as well, it's almost coming to the occasion of this being a cult. Her goons still say the same old dumb shit, and they don't care because they all have the same mentality. This is crazy. I've never seen nothing like this in all my life. Wrongfully arrested on his own property. On what? Fourth time? Third time? Fourth time? And on New Year's Day? So, of course, they violated his Fourth Amendment rights again. They don't care about federal laws or anything. I don't care if Potato Head is cooperating a lot or not. He needs to go to prison. Period. I don't think it will be hard to find him guilty of the bankruptcy fraud charges, but they need to do a superseding indictment and add on all this. Because there is no way. And I'm sure Lawrence Gardner had cameras on his property that probably captured every single arrest. That's if this fake ass commander was wearing a body camera that also was supposed to record each and every last one of these fake arrests. So you get that body camera footage and the police dash cam footage. I would get both. All the police cars are equipped with, dash cameras. So I would get the dash cam footage and the body camera footage. That way there's no denying that he went out here and unlawfully arrested somebody 3 or 4 times so far. Holy Jesus. All right. Count 6, 7. Count 7. 5, 6, 7. Count 7. First Amendment. The actions of arresting the plaintiff for protesting violated plaintiff Lawrence Gardner's First Amendment rights. It's free speech and expression. Count 8, Monell policy. The Village of Dolton has a practice and policy of interfering with the rights and the business of plaintiff business owners in the Village of Dolton. The Village of Dolton, through official edits of defendant Dum has directed employees to interfere with lawful business and property rights of individuals after Lawrence Gardner refused to pay $3,500 annually. For what? What was the money for? Hold on. What was the money for? Was that a taxes or something? What was the $3,500 for? This is insane. What was it for? It was what? It was for taxes. Does anybody know what the $3,500 was supposed to be for? He was supposed to pay this annually. For what? Y'all let me know. Kickback. Oh. Yeah, that says, shakedown. I can easily say that. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's what's going on because it doesn't seem to be legitimate. Oh, Lord. So he refused to pay $3,500 every year because reasons. The Village of Dolton has a practice, custom, and policy of failing to officially notify applicants that a business license has been denied. The Village of Dolton has a practice and policy of denying license holders or applicants of a right to a hearing for either revoking or denying a business license. In evidence of these practices and policies are the multitude of current litigation actions filed against defendants and this administration, including but not limited to the following. And then they have other cases cited, y'all, because this is how it's done. This is how it's done. You can use other cases to help build the foundation to prove the point that this is a habitual pattern of behavior. So that's just laying the foundation here. They're not citing it as case law. They're just showing that based on the complaints that have been levied against the Village of Dolton, this is a pattern of behavior. They sit here and withhold business permits and liquor license. They don't, she didn't want to sign anything because reasons. You got her dumb goons out here talking about how no one should have a liquor store and it's the liquor store this and liquor store that. Why don't you shut up and then go and help these people with these liquor stores create a new business then and go pay for it? Good luck to that. They're complaining about things they can't control, which at the end of the day, people are going to put up businesses of where they know they're going to make a profit, right? You're not going to open up a business if there's no demand for it. See, that's economics 101. So if you have a lot of liquor stores, then that kind of shows what people are willing to spend their money on. Liquor. I mean, seriously, this is logic. Tell me if I'm off base here. If you've got 6 liquor stores within a 5-mile radius, that means that people are willing to spend money on liquor more than anything else. Those businesses seem to flourish, and the business owners can make some money because they know people want to buy liquor. So you're talking about changing what random residents and citizens spend their money on when you're sitting here dogging out something dealing with a liquor permit or a liquor license. We don't want all these liquor stores. That's not something that you can control. 1, 2, if the business owner sees that they're making more money selling liquor above any other product in demand or service, they're going to open liquor stores because that makes money. That's how it works. That's how economics work. You don't believe me? Look it up. If they had something that was even more in demand, like maybe, let's say hypothetically it was a specific boutique shop, cupcakes. Let's go with that. People buy a lot of cupcakes. People want cupcakes. There's a demand for it. Don't you think people will open more businesses to sell cupcakes? Because that's what's going to help them make the money. So complaining about some liquor and some alcohol is futile and a moot point when you can't do anything about it. And that is what sells. That's what's making money for right now. Now, considering that, the Pope is going to be bringing all this fantastic attention and businesses and revenue, because people are going to be coming there. You're going to want to get, some sort of some tourism going. Here there was some other businesses to start looking into. How can you help with the tourism and make money with that? Maybe you set up to be a tour guide. There you go. You're welcome. Tour guide. Consider that. Because you're going to have a lot of people coming into Dolton. The Pope is from Dolton. So, there are other revenues now. There are other lanes that people can go down with a business, considering where the potential revenue is going to start coming in. Hotels, restaurants, tourist guides. Can't go wrong with that. If you've been to Disney World or Universal Studios, and I can say that because I've taken my kids there a few times, you oftentimes see like all these tourist packages and all this stuff because it's a huge tourist city. Everybody goes to Disney World. People spend money on going to Disney World and Universal Studios, right? So you get these companies that come up where they sell tickets and all these things, packages. They give tours. They have events and activities, and they make money in Orlando because everybody goes there to Universal and to Disney World. That's what sells. So right now, liquor sells, and that's it. So here are the cases. I just had to kind of put that out there because it's so weird to hear people say something dogging out liquor stores. And it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? This is somebody's business. This is how they make money. You have any other idea for any other business they should be starting here? Because otherwise, what are you talking about? Shut up. It's weird to me. It's just weird. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for what I'm saying, but I just don't understand why anybody would complain about something like that. It's still a business, like it or not. Jesus turned water into wine. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Even he had a glass of something that made him feel very good. He just drunk wine. Y'all, come on. All right. Calumet Conservation Club, Village of Dolton, Pablo's Cafe and Bar LLC versus Village of Dolton. I have this case filing as well. The Pablo's Cafe, Lacey's Place LLC. I have that court filing as well. Versus Village of Dolton, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Resurrection Power Assembly. Oh, I remember that. I have that case as well. Versus Super Stupid. She kept the whole church from being able to get a business permit to have a new building. It's just disgusting. George's Towing Inc. versus Village of Dolton. Rucker Holdings versus Village of Dalton. Isom Jr. I have that case filing. I have this one too. Versus Village of Dalton. Woods et al. Versus Freeman. It better not be Siggy. Is this Woods Siggy versus Freeman? That'll be hilarious. Y'all let me know. Is this Kamal Woods versus Freeman? I'm gonna look for that one because I'm just curious to know if that's Kamal Woods versus Keith Freeman, because that's gonna be something else. Y'all see why I love reading court documents. Now you just look at all the goodies chopped up in here. If this is Kamal Woods versus Keith Freeman, I am going to do a whole video on that one. Funny how Super Stupid never even mentioned that. Oh my God. Her married boyfriend versus the village flunky. As a result of these customs, practices, and policies created by defendant Dum Dum and the Village of Dolton, the plaintiffs incurred monetary losses, ongoing emotional distress, and other damages. Count 6 is the account. Oh God, my count 9. Is it 9? Yeah, count 9. Monell policy, Commander Lewis. So they realleged paragraphs 1 through 39 of counts 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. As his allegations of paragraphs 1 through 39 of count 9, as though fully set forth herein. Let's see. They failed to, Village of Dalton failed to investigate and or ignored the. I want to make sure I'm saying that Roman numeral right. The 9. William has a question. What's up? Oh, let me hold on. Where's William? Was it Keith Freeman getting some of that money? Probably. He was definitely misusing credit cards and unlawfully added to that Fifth Third bank account. And then, of course, he's listed on FBI subpoenas along with his businesses. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was getting a kickback. He also owes the Village of Robbins over $90,000. I would like to say yes, but yeah, I'm sure the FBI will definitely be finding out. All right, I just want to make sure I touched on a couple of the questions. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's get back to it. The Super Stupid out here still giving away food boxes like somebody want that. Oh my God. So the Village of Dalton failed to investigate and or ignored the consistent, outrageous, unlawful conduct of Commander Potato Head. The Village of Dalton has a practice and policy of allowing Potato Head to run free and unchecked, like Gestapo. Custom practice and policy was a driving force that contributed to the continued unlawful conduct against the plaintiff. Evidence of this custom practice and policy is the multitude of complaints and lawsuits against Commander Potato Head as law enforcement officer, hopefully along with body camera footage and dash cam footages and any other video camera footages that was placed around the business itself. It should have been cameras on there. I hope so. So they can use that. Next count, indemnification. Let's see. The Illinois law provides the public entities are directed to pay any tort judgment for compensatory damages for which employees are liable within the scope of their employment activities. Defendant Super Stupid is or was an employee of Village of Dalton. She's no longer the mayor. We bless God for it. Defendant Kim Alston is or was an employee of the Village of Dalton. Is she still there? Is Kim Alston still there? Hey, boys. Thank you. Yeah, they having a fit. Somebody having a fit. Stop. Yeah, they having a fit. Y'all, Granny in the live stream, she gonna call y'all. Calm down. No. Nope. You'll be all right. All right, cool. Moving on. Yeah, got to be mama mode on Mother's Day weekend. All right. Defendant Commander Lacey was an employee of the Village of Dalton. He's no longer there. Is Kim also still there? Kim is gone. Got it. Good. Because she's the worst. peeing in alleys and stuff. She peed in an alley. I mean, can't take her seriously. Let's see. Should defendants Kim Alston, Super Stupid, and Commander Lacey be found liable for the acts alleged, the defendant Village of Dolton would be liable to pay the plaintiff any judgment obtained against said defendant. Ooh, child. So there's a jury demand, and there it is. Filed by his submitted through his attorney, Gregory E. Coolis. This is well written. Well done. So Lacey did an answer to the complaint, which I find to be hilarious, because there should be enough body camera footage to kind of show his role in all of this. But let me show the defendant Village of Dolton's answer to the complaint first before I go through that one. And I'm just going to skim over it, guys. I'm not going to go and read all of it for the sake of brevity. So let's stop that. And let's share the answer here. Boom, shakalaka. All right. Make myself smaller. So you see the answer here from the defendant Village of Dolton. And he kind of repeat the information here. This is filed through the attorney Alston representing the Village of Dolton. This is back on February 6th of 25 this year. February 6th, 2025. This is when it was filed and stamped. So of course, the village denies the allegations contained in paragraph 1. The plaintiff, Lawrence Gardner, was an individual residing in Cook County. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief on that. Okay, I like this response and how it's set up. You get to see the actual allegation and then their answer to it, which is how you really want to see a response and defense on the complaint. You want the actual paragraph of the allegation and then the response to be right underneath it. I don't understand how the village denies the allegations in this. That could be something you can look at the Illinois Secretary of State website to find the business licenses and stuff. Like, seriously. Okay. Super Stupid at all times was relevant as the mayor. The village admits she was at all times relevant to the mayor and was acting individually. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to whether she was acting officially. Really? She was doing this individually, but we don't know if she was doing this as a mayor. So, in her individual capacity, you mean to tell me she can get Kim Alston and Potato Head to do anything? Weaponize a police department in her individual capacity? Is that what you're saying to me? Because that's how I'm reading this. Yeah, she was doing this in her individual capacity, all right. But in the official capacity, we don't know. We just don't know enough. Come on, Alston. You're killing me, man. And that was the dumbest response. I'm sorry. No. Nope. It's so hypocritical. The defendant, Lacey at all times was relevant at all times as the police officer. The village admits Commander Lacey was a police officer for the village of Dolton and lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to whether he was acting under color of law or within the scope of his employment. Okay. Was he not on duty in a police car wearing his uniform with his badge as a commissioned officer that wasn't qualified, but he was still commissioned and making these arrests? Is that what you're saying, Alston? Come on, man. Oh, Lord. So this response is about to get stupid. Brace yourselves. It's about to get real dumb. Are you serious? I understand that attorneys want to, be overzealous for their clients, but to the point where you're trying to deny facts that he indeed made at least 3 or 4 false arrests while he was on the clock as a commissioned police officer in a police unit wearing his police uniform with his badge, weapon, and everything else on him. And it's on video. He should have been wearing body camera footages. The dash cam should have been recording. Are you kidding? Did they try to find info to form a belief on that? Jesus. Let's move on. Move on. Kim Alston, being the city inspector of Illinois. The village denies that Kim Alston was the city inspector of Dolton, Illinois, and lacks knowledge. Y'all see how they put city inspector in quotation? Probably because city is in the quotation, I guess. And maybe they should have said the village of Dolton inspector. She wasn't certified, but she was in that role. Yeah. Y'all see this? This is why I say it's about to get dumb. Oh my God. Oh man. So they denied the whole thing because of reasons. The answer to paragraph 6, the village admits that this court has jurisdiction over this action, and rarely you see something denying that, whatever. Pursuant to 28 USC 1331 and 1343, and denies the remaining allegations contained in paragraph 6. So this would be it here. I mean, seriously. They said this is they said this is true. The rest of this, nope, we denied. Factual allegations. The village denies Lawrence Gardner is the rightful owner of the property located at 1330 East 42nd Street and lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to whether he is the tenant of the property. The village denies Lawrence Gardner purchased the property and lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to when he started E-Vett Trucking and Warehouse. I mean, it would be on the business application, would it not be? Y'all see why I say it's gonna get dumb? Oh Lord. He had to put up an escrow of $1,000. The village admits plaintiff promised to make repairs to the property and put up an escrow of $1,000. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to the truth of the remaining allegations contained in paragraph 9. The village denies the allegations contained in paragraph 10. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to the truth of the allegations in paragraph 11. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief as to the truth of allegations in paragraph 12. Didn't you just say that he did? He promised to make repairs and put up an escrow. Wouldn't he be able to produce a receipt to show that he actually made the repairs? Okay. Paragraph 13. The village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief. 14. The village denies the allegations because license, like they can't just be pulled up in the record that he don't have documentation. On or about January 22nd, 23, plaintiff had a business party at his business location and was cited for no business license and unauthorized liquor sales. The village admits the plaintiff held a party at his business location on the date. Admits plaintiff was cited for unauthorized liquor sales and denies the remaining allegations. The village denies the allegations in 16 as he was not selling alcohol. So they denied, even though they didn't know if he was selling alcohol. The village admits the allegations contained in paragraph 17. So plaintiff Lawrence Gardner was initially found liable by the administrative court of the village of Dolton. For paragraph 18, the village admits the allegations. So on March 16, 23, they admit the plaintiff filed a pro se administrative review action challenging the February 16, 23 finding. The village admits a default order was entered against it, which was later vacated, and denies the remaining allegations contained. So the defendant, village of Dolton, ignored the summons in action, and an order of default was entered against it on May 22nd, 23. When was the order later vacated? It's the question. Because until it's vacated, you still follow the order. That's how that works. The village admits a cease and desist by police or order was issued to 1330 Dolton Avenue. So this is pertaining to this paragraph here regarding their compliance with the court order. They closed his business, claiming it was not approved for occupancy. So they admit that the cease and desist by police order was issued and then deny everything else. The village admits a judgment was entered for plaintiff Lawrence Gardner regarding his administrative review complaint, and the village was ordered to pay court costs. Okay, cool. They entered a judgment and defendant was ordered to pay court costs. The village denies the remaining allegations contained. What's the other allegation? I mean, they agreed to the judgment being entered and that they were ordered to pay court costs. What else is there to deny? Am I missing something with that? Okay. Village lacks knowledge or info sufficient to form a belief on paragraph 22 as far as the village not paying the cost. Did Alston even look at the exhibits or documentation or anything before they did this response? Really? Come on now. Come on now. I know what I'm reading. The village denies the allegations in paragraph 23. The village lacks knowledge and info for paragraph 24. The village lacks info and knowledge for paragraph 25. They lacked info and knowledge for paragraph 26. The village admits Kim Alston and members of the Dolton Police Department went to 1330 Dolton Avenue on March 25, 23, but deny the remaining allegations. The village lacks knowledge and info for paragraph 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. The village just flat out denied the allegations in paragraph 33. He's like, forget the info and info. We just deny it. Seems like they would just put there to break up the monotony of the responses here. Paragraph 34. They lack the knowledge and info sufficient to form a belief. Same thing for 35. Paragraph 36. They just flat out denied it again. Paragraph 37. They deny the allegations. Count one. Count one is not brought against defendant village, and therefore no answers are required for the due process rights. Count two, illegal search. Count two is not brought against defendant village, and therefore no answers are required. God. Oh, yeah, and to the extent if the answers are required, they deny it. So they're saying each count, they're not being brought against the defendant village. So we're not answering it. We're not required to. But if we had to actually answer and we were required to answer, we deny it. Great. Alston, you something else. You a trip. Oh, man. Count 8, Monell. Oh, Lord. The village hereby realleges and incorporated its answers to paragraphs 1 through 38 as though fully set forth herein. Oh, man. So paragraph 39, they denied the allegations. Paragraph 40, they denied it. 41, 42, they denied it all. 43, the village admits the existence of these lawsuits and denies the remaining allegations contained in paragraph 43. So yeah, they exist, but we don't know if they exist because of the same actions that the plaintiff in this matter is alleging. Basically, the wrongful arrest, infringement of First Amendment rights, the right to assemble, the false arrest, the revoking of business license, failure to pay court costs, and ignoring court orders. Like they're saying, we don't know nothing about the rest of it. Like they can't read it. Good grief. The village denies the allegation in paragraph 44. Something else. The village hereby realleges and incorporates its answers, paragraphs 1 through 39 again. The village admits the allegations contained in paragraph 40. Finally, Commander Potato Head has a history of complaints against him by citizens for false arrest and excessive force. You'll admit that to be true with nothing else. The village of Dolton has failed to investigate or ignore the consistent, outrageous, unlawful conduct of Commander Potato Head. So they denied that. Village of Dolton's practice and policy of allowing Commander Potato Head to run free and unchecked. The village denied it. They denied the allegations in paragraph 43, 44, 45. No. Let's see. They admitted the allegations contained in paragraph 44 here. So Illinois provides that public entities are directed to pay any tort judgment for compensatory damages for which employees are liable within the scope of their employment activities. That's kind of standard, something that they can just look up and read for themselves as well. So Illinois law is law. So they're going to admit that the law exists. might deny how it's being applied. Maybe that's what they're going for here. Because otherwise, this makes no sense. It just deny certain obvious things. The village denies that Tiffany Henry is or was an employee of the village of Dolton. Was she not the mayor? Oh my God. But the village admits that Kim Alston is or was an employee of the village of Dolton. They lack info to say anything else. Village admits that Commander Lacey is or was an employee, but then lacks knowledge and info on anything else. The village denies the allegations in paragraph 48. Affirmative defenses. Now comes the defendant village of Dolton and for its affirmative defenses to plaintiff's complaint at law. Hereby states as follows: to the extent the village of Dolton is required to indemnify the individual defendants, the village adopts each of their affirmative defenses as if set forth fully herein, meaning here's our responses, take it or leave it, the end. That's it. That's ridiculous. Bert Olderson is acting up. He's acting up. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Lord. Good grief, y'all. 112 people watching. I hope you hit that like button. I don't care if you're lurking. Hit the damn like button. Oh, man. This is something else. So this is the village of Dolton's responses. This is just a notification of docket entry for the case itself. Made on April 29th, 2025. Not too long ago, y'all. This was just Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. There you go. Minute entry before the Honorable Charles P. Kokara's telephonic status hearing held on April 29th. But they had a hearing and continued on May 20th. So they have another hearing coming up May 20th at 10:10 a.m. to provide an update on discovery. Uh-oh. Come on now. All right, here we go. So there's going to be a hearing on May 20th at 10:10 to provide an update on discovery and settlement discussions. So they're trying to settle the case. Thank God. Yay. There's going to be a settlement. Because how in the hell do you take this to court? I don't understand. Plus, you have to remember, Potato Head is gone. Kim Alston is gone. Super Stupid is still held liable in her individual capacity. And the village of Dolton is still listed as a defendant. So, but yeah, there's a settlement discussion. That's awesome. Great. I hope they settle this because, man, if not, oh my God. If you guys want, let me put this link in here. Here's the link. Don't ever say I never gave you all nothing. Paste. All right, that is the link. Hold on, let me paste it again. There's a space in this here. Boom, shakalaka. All right, there's the WebEx link in court documents there. When using a link, counsel must type in their name when joining the call. Throughout the call, each speaker will be expected to identify themselves for the record before speaking. So, I don't know if this is a public hearing or something like that. It should be, but there's the link in case it is. If it's not a public hearing, do not call in. But if it is, there's the link. You're welcome. Oh, the access code if you want to call in. See what happens when Lady Luck Club gets a hold of court documents. There you go. There you go. 92 people watching. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We're not going to be too much longer. It's an hour and 14 minutes in. And I'm just trying my best to learn how to pace myself so I don't have 2-3 hour live streams. Yeah, because I try my best not to do that, especially when you're going over court documents. Y'all, court documents are boring as hell, so you got to read it and make it fun. This notice was sent pursuant to Rule 77D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So this is court rules. If the hearing is made available to the public, you guys have the link and the number to call in. But if not, don't call in because you'll be expected to identify yourself. They're gonna see who is this called? What's the last 4 digits of this number here? Who are you? Oh, I'm just observing. You may have to get permission. So just check into that before you do it. All right. Let's get back to some of the other responses just to kind of give, just a glance over it all. Y'all, these are documents that had to be retrieved from Pacer. So Lacey Potato Head had some responses, y'all. This is something else. Oh, Potato Head. Hell, child. So he responded as well, and I'm sure he denied most of it. So you kind of expect that. He denied most of it. Yeah, because he's weird and all. Let's not forget, Potato Head is the same person that has 9 bankruptcy fraud charges against him. He got Keith Freeman beat. He got the IRS probably coming for him. It's something else. Oh man. Let's kind of skim over what Potato Head said. So either he lacks sufficient, the attorney that filed this on his behalf is saying basically we either lack the sufficient knowledge to say anything or we're just gonna deny it. Certain things they admitted to, that's just a fundamental fact. Like, she was the mayor of Dolton. That's probably all he'll admit to. Admits that he was employed by the village of Dolton. They lack sufficient knowledge to determine whether or not Kim Alston was employed. Oh man. Defendant admits plaintiff's complaint is brought pursuant to 735 based on the statute code here for the state, but they lack sufficient knowledge or info to attest to anything else. It's something else. Y'all see that this was all that they admitted to on behalf of Village of Dolton, but this is all he's admitted to right here. No, wait. Yep, 209B. Yeah, this part right here. He said this is true, the rest is not. I don't know, or the rest I don't have enough knowledge on, because he's not an attorney or anything. So if his attorney wrote this is something else. Hold on, let me go to the bottom. Yeah, his attorney wrote this. Do you not know federal statute? Seriously? I question the competency of their attorneys. I really do. And I'm not saying Bert Oderson is not smart and competent, but why in the world would you respond that bad only to the point where y'all are trying to settle this now? Like, come on, man. Come on. All right. So for the factual allegations, I'm just gonna run through it. He's stated that he lacks sufficient knowledge or info to either admit or deny for paragraph 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Paragraph 13, he denies shutting plaintiff's business down, and then he lacks sufficient knowledge to say anything else. So paragraph 14, lacks knowledge. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, here, goody. Lacey admits that notice stickers were put on the property, but then he lacks knowledge or info to say anything else. Same as 21, lacks info and knowledge. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 27, he denies the allegations flat out because he got knowledge and info to deny, but not admit. But the same thing. This is something else. Defendant lacks sufficient knowledge to say anything on paragraph 28, 29, 30, 31. Why even respond if this is all you're going to say? 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh, wait, no, 36. He denies violating plaintiff's due process rights because he has enough knowledge to say that, but then no sufficient knowledge or info to say anything else because he doesn't know constitutional rights. Yeah. Defendant Lacey denies illegally entering and searching plaintiff's property in paragraph 37 or violating his Fourth Amendment rights, even though he has no proof of that. He can't prove that he denied him the right when he just entered his property and arrested him without due process. Like, what constitutes a violation of Fourth Amendment rights? Other than you entering someone's property with no search warrant, without the property owner's permission. You had no right to be there. That's it. Infuriating. Good grief. Now, the defendant restates his answers to each of the first 37 paragraphs, denies 38, restates his answers in 31 through 37 again for another count 2. He denies 38, entering the property without a warrant. So did he have a warrant? Was there exigent circumstances here? And then he lacks sufficient knowledge and info to admit or deny the rest. Paragraph 39, he denies it. Denies 40. Denies 41. Oh, Lord have mercy. He denies 38 again here on the count 3. Denies 39 or 40. Oh, Lord have mercy. Denies 42. Under count 4, false arrest. He lacks sufficient knowledge to give any to deny or admit for 38. Denies 39. Lacks knowledge on 40. Yeah, this is just never ending. Let me get to where he actually admits something. I'm just gonna scroll so y'all can, if you want to watch and read the information, I implore you to slow down the speed of this video when you're doing the replay. You know, for the ones in the bushes recording it, you just slow it down and pause it and read it. It's just something else. He either denies or he just doesn't have any knowledge to prove or say anything. It's ridiculous. So when they, you know, when it comes to these type of matters, as I've stated previously, federal lawsuits are still civil procedures. The burden is to meet a preponderance of the evidence, and it's on the petitioner. The burden lies on the petitioner bringing forth the allegations to prove. I don't think he would have had a hard time proving any of this stuff if he had videos and copies of the business licenses to show that he was indeed the property owner. They definitely admitted to the village, at the very least, admitted that he paid $1,000 and paid $1,000 towards that account. Oh, God, it just slipped my mind. But what happened with the $3,500 again? I don't know. There was some allegation that he was told he would have to pay $3,500 annually. I have no idea what that money was for, other than them trying to just shake him down and get money out of him. And they wonder why they're under FBI investigation. So yes, I'm scrolling a little fast because I have a few more documents I just want to show. It kind of skimmed through. Yeah, this case docket is something else. Oh, here it is. He refused to pay $3,500 annually, but never said what it was for. So the defendant makes no answer to the allegation because they claim it's not directed at him. As if Potato Head would not benefit from that $3,500. Kick rocks. That's something else. Defendant Lacey makes no answer to the allegations is not directed against him. But he may have been named in some of these other lawsuits. Are you serious? I'm still going to try to find that Woods versus Freeman, because that's just hilarious to even think about the fact or the idea or concept of Siggy filing a lawsuit against Keith Freeman. And this was just last year here. 24 CV 11776. That case was filed last year in 2024. Yeah, this is something else. It's something else. So the rest of this seems like he either denies, he has no info or knowledge, or he doesn't answer because he doesn't think that, you know, is directed to him. See that? So you see this repeated. You barely see him admit anything because, you know, reasons. So their defenses is based on the failure to state a claim. They are claiming that plaintiff's complaint in whole or in part fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted against the defendant. Qualified immunity. At all times, defendant Lacey acted in good faith. within the scope of his official duties as police officer, but they denied that he was acting in the official capacity of being a police officer. Are you serious? This is something else. Did they really have to contradict themselves this bad? Oh, Lord have mercy. That qualified immunity only gets you so far, Potato Head, when you have already been found guilty of wrongful death and had a judgment issued against you from a wrongful death lawsuit. It was like what, $35 million total? The wrongful death lawsuit where he had he caused a crash and he refused to stop pursuing the two young men that was in the car. Hey, Magnolia, how you doing? Isn't that the one that's the wrongful death? The one where he was chasing two guys and he was outside of his jurisdiction. And then it ended up being a crash. One of the young men lost his life. The other young man was injured really bad. And a judgment was issued against him for like $30 or $35 million. This is something else. I believe that's the same case. So he didn't have no qualified immunity under that. That was a federal lawsuit too. And he had a judgment issued against him. As a matter of fact, he's had a couple other judgments issued against him, and he failed to pay his portion. And then when he lied to the bankruptcy courts, he tried to make it seem as if, he didn't have to pay the rest of the money. So he's had judgments issued against him in other federal lawsuits where this so-called qualified immunity did not kick in. Because you can't just say, I have qualified immunity just to curtail and skirt around accountability here. It's not going to cover you in every situation, especially when you have an indictment on the way. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. He's going to jail. No, he's going to prison. He's going to prison. They need to have a new song on that and just say prison. You're going to prison. You're going to prison. He just need to go already. This is crazy. Illinois Tort Immunity Act. Like that meant nothing when he was when the judgment was granted against him that he had to pay for that wrongful death lawsuit. Oh my God. Probable cause, arguable probable cause. False arrest claims. He didn't have probable cause. He showed up at somebody's property and did some dumb shit. The end. And then he made up charges that probably were dismissed. You can't say there's some probable cause if it went to court and the court determined the probable cause was lacking. Here it is. I'm sure that Lawrence Gardner had those charges dismissed. So you can't say that there was probable cause. It wasn't. He showed up on someone's property. Somebody, it's like a police officer just showing up at my house. I didn't call you. And you come here, you want to arrest me because I'm eating chicken. I had probable cause that they were sitting here doing something, trying to weaponize a chicken. We decided to arrest her for eating meat. Yeah, now I'm protected under this immunity thing in case she tries to sue me for falsely arresting her and enter into her property unlawfully so that I can arrest her for eating chicken. No one told her to be, to eat meat and vegetables at the same time. That's illegal. That's how dumb these charges sound to me. Like him trying to find a reason to arrest someone. As dumb as that sound, with me using that example of somebody coming here arresting me for eating chicken. That's how stupid these false arrests are. That Potato Head tried to use to arrest this man 4 times. And then trying to claim immunity as if that worked in the other cases where he was found at fault, where a judgment was issued against him. And he has to pay it. He's still paying part of a judgment. This is crazy. And that's outlined in his indictment. I can't make that up. You guys check out my video on the FBI indictment. We did go over it with Potato Head. He still owes money in judgments issued against him from federal lawsuits. Unbelievable. So they have this justification, reasonableness, excessive force claim. No. Pushing someone against a desk is not, no. You can't even express why you there in the first place. Get out of here. Plaintiff's own conduct compared to fault. Ugh. To the extent permitted by law, plaintiff's injuries, if any, were approximately caused or contributed by their own acts, omission, or unlawful conduct. Why was Potato Head there on the property? Hell out of here. Failure to mitigate damages. Ugh. Superseding or intervening cause. Statute of limitations. No actual damages. De minimis injury. Okay. Reservation of defenses. I can't believe they're trying this. Even if a technical or nominal violation is found, plaintiffs have not sustained compensable damages or have only sustained minimal injury. Basically, that's what they're saying. How do you know that? Hopefully he went to the hospital and then he got pictures and medical reports to prove the type of damage he incurred. How do you say you don't have any info to provide, any information or whatever to admit or deny any of the other allegations, but somehow they have enough to say in their mind? Potato Head, him and his attorney, can somehow say the injury was minimal. What the hell? But you don't have any information or you lack info to say anything else throughout this entire response. This is why I have no respect for these morons. I can't take them seriously. But they don't have any evidence to show that or prove that someone else's injury that Potato Head caused upon Lawrence Gardner is minimal and it's not worthy of compensation. Based on what, idiot? His attorney sucks. His attorney sucks. Reservation of defenses. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thomas Weber. That for the names just sound made up. I'm sure it's a real law firm, but good God. What's that? Where's his bar number? Where is the attorney's bar number? Y'all see it? Am I missing it? Thomas M. Weber, Michael J. Skalka of Weber Defada and Sansonetti LLC. No bar number. No bar number. Where's the bar number? This is a joke, right? Okay, if you guys are ever in the mood, just look up this law firm. Because why do they not have the bar number next to their name? How do you forget the bar number? This is page 18. That's not part of any bar number. See, it's numbered right there. That's 19, 18. Where is his bar number? How do you see? This is what I mean by incompetent. His attorney is stupid. You didn't even put the bar number on here, so we don't even know if you're a real attorney. Yeah, that's no different than the cops identifying themselves with their names. It's no different. Who knows if he's a real attorney? This is insane, y'all. This is insane. It has no bar number on here. We don't know if you real or what. As far as I'm concerned, these names are made up and hilarious. Boy, if I Google these names, I wonder what the definitions of these, what the meaning of these names are going to come up to show. Weber, Skalka. God, it's like they reached for these names. Like these names are just so out of place to be in Chicago. I'm not saying that there are no people with unique names, but I'm just saying, if you're not going to put your bar number down, I'm going to assume that you're not real. I'm going to just assume you're not a real attorney. Because that's part of, listing. That's part of your signature on court documents. You need to have, let me show you. See this? Gregory E. Coolis. That's his bar number. Y'all see that? 6180966. That's a bar number. Let me pull it up. This is on his complaint. Let's see if it's here. No. Once again, no bar number. Where did he get these attorneys from? This is the defendant, Super Stupid, and Kim Alston's reply in support of the motion to dismiss. So they filed the motion to dismiss because they kept saying he didn't have a claim, but when he did. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Super Stupid and Kim Alston, in their individual capacities, are filing this reply to support the motion to dismiss of the plaintiff's complaint, which is this major complaint here. There it is. That his attorney filed with a bar license number mentioned. Potato Head's attorney did not say anything. Let me go to the other one. Bert Alston knows to put his bar number down. Y'all, this is insane. How do you know that this is a real attorney? Wasn't nobody putting down their bar numbers. I don't see a bar number on Alston. Or McGrath. Alston, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath. What y'all bar numbers? We know they're real because we've seen them. Who's seen these other attorneys here? Have y'all ever seen this attorney? Thomas Leaning Weber? Does anybody know who they are? This is something else. Bert Alston, you need to McGrath. Y'all need to put y'all bar numbers on y'all documents, because otherwise it's gonna look like it's a joke. His attorney did it, but not the rest. What is going on? Oh, Lord. Now these names are fantastical. Look at it. Moving on. I'm moving on. I'm so glad they're trying to settle this, because they didn't even want to put their bar number on this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these names are made up. Yeah, this is ridiculous. So they're basically stating that they're reply in further support of the motion and to dismiss counts 1, 2, and 8 of plaintiff's complaint, docket 1, for the reasons stated below. And in the initial motion, the claims made against defendants Dum Dum and Alston should be dismissed with prejudice for due process, alleging that the plaintiff failed to allege personal involvement of Super Stupid or Alston. When you give orders for someone to just go arrest someone and enter their property without a warrant, yeah, the Potato Head said you told him to do it. So you're culpable to an extent. You may not have been there to actually do the arrest yourself, but you're still culpable. You issued the actual, this is verbal edict. You issued the actual command. And Potato Head, being the spineless coward he is, said, yes, master, and went and did it. Didn't want to claim immunity. No. No. What the hell? So, plaintiff further argued that she walked away when approached by Gardner and that she ordered security to block access to the property. So she's giving out orders, but she wants to say, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Yeah, this is classic Super Stupid. Deny and deflect and lie like hell. That's it. That's all she's going to do. Count 2, she's cost the village of Dolton a lot of damn money with these lawsuits, and she thought it was cute. I get sued all the time. You should not be proud of that, you Ewok. But yet, giving out food boxes, and people are like, yeah, this is all that we need. Food boxes. This works. Never mind what's happening in the court of law. Oh, God. They want count 2 dismissed. Fails to state a plausible claim against Alston. So count 2 was the alleged illegal entry. Was she there? I mean, if she was there, you were there at least to witness what happened. Plaintiff's Monell claim count 8 against defendants. Super Stupid is redundant with his claim against the village of Dolton. He's the mayor. They're the village. The end. So plaintiffs do not dispute that their Monell claim in count 8 is brought against the mayor solely in her official capacity, nor do they contest that this claim is duplicative of the identical Monell claim brought against the village of Dolton. But they still should be treated like two separate entities. So how is it redundant? Because what if the village of Dolton was not listed as a defendant, but she was? They want to be separated in any other allegation, but with this one, somehow they're one and the same. Makes no sense. It can't be identical when you're still directing the allegation to each of the defendants individually and in their official capacity. That's how this was written. He's filing this against her in her official and individual capacity. But the village of Dolton, they have their own responses to this petition because they're serving as their own defendant in their own entity in this matter. They're not claiming that, in his allegations are redundant because of what they brought against the mayor. So why in the world is that a defense here? Oh my God. Y'all know I'm not an attorney. Y'all see why? I didn't think I had a temperament. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't have the temperament to be an attorney. I couldn't do it. Man, I would be good. I would not take everybody's case because it would be so stupid to just I cannot defend you. There's no defending you. That's it. There's certain people, it's just not even worth you putting your credibility or bar license on the line when you're notating it, because we don't see it here. We don't see it here yet again. It's not here. From these fantastical names, we don't even see your bar license number. So it's certain situations where I would not even want to be connected to certain people with their cases and even represent them. So I don't think I would make a lot of money to be able to, especially in civil procedures. I can tell y'all right now, I probably would not be good at being an attorney because I would be turning cases down. But nope, I'm not wasting my time with that. I'm not wasting my time with that. I don't see how any respectable attorney at this point will want to represent Super Stupid, even in her individual capacity moving forward. Because if you haven't paid attention for the last 4 years and you've seen at least how she's conducted herself, then obviously you're in La La Land. It's ridiculous. So the plaintiff's motion for a leave to file a response to the defendant's motion to dismiss. So whenever you have either party filed a motion, the other party has the right to file a response to it. So the defendant filed that motion to dismiss. The plaintiff had the right to file a response to that motion. What they're asking for in this particular pleading here is just for request to have additional time to prepare. That's all they're doing. Motion for leave to file a response. The plaintiff stating as follows: the defendants filed their motion to dismiss on February 5th, 2026. That should be 2025. 2026 hasn't even came up yet. They might want to amend this. Yeah, this should be 2025, not 2026. So that needs to be a correction done to this particular pleading. If they're trying to, reach a settlement, this might end up being denied as moot either way. But in the meantime, until that settlement agreement is finalized, they do need to file something corrected. This is 2025, not 26. And you want the court of record to be accurate. Plaintiff's response is due to be filed on or before March 31st. Due to inadvertence, plaintiffs were unable to file their response by the due date. Plaintiffs have prepared a response to defendant's motion to dismiss and seek leave to file response instanter, meaning they want to, go ahead and file it and get it, docketed with the entered into the docket. Counsel for plaintiffs has conferred with counsel for defendants, who indicated defendants have no objection to this motion. So they didn't care either way whether he got time or not. It is what it is. Super Stupid really thinks that nothing's going to happen, even though she's being sued in her individual capacity. This is why the village of Dolton needs to go after her to reclaim any of this money that that they're settling out, because she's cost them a lot of money. Just lawsuits alone. That's not even including what the hell she stole. She's cost them a lot of money. This makes no sense. And until she proves that she had an RFP or contract with these vendors, yeah, I'm just gonna assume that her weird ass got kickbacks. That's it. It's part of the FBI investigation either way. I'm not giving her the benefit of the doubt. You can kiss my ass. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. So, considering the fact that they were not objecting to the petitioner, the plaintiff, to have extended time to be able to file the response, more than likely this motion was granted. Y'all see here? Look at that. A bar number. Because he's not scared to do it. All right. Y'all, that is all I have. That's all the documents I have on this case. This is something else. Man. This is why I enjoy reading court documents. Because, man, all that stuff, all this goodies chocked up in here. 91 people still on. Make sure you all are hitting that like button. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. You and Cooking with Frank and J9 even need to do a chat. That would be awesome. I wouldn't mind. Cooking with Frank probably would have his camera off because I don't think I've ever seen a video with his camera on, but that's okay. Some content creators don't, come on camera. Pink Book Lessons is infamous for that. I've never seen how she looks, and I've been a supporter of her channel for at least 3 or 4 years. I don't think I've ever come across a video where she actually shows her face. So some people just, they do everything from behind the scenes, and that content is still fantastic. But I would love that. I would not mind that at all. I know Miss Mandy wants to do a joint live stream because she also focuses on true crime. How many of y'all like true crime? I love true crime. I do. And then you get to learn more. I watch interrogations. Sometimes I watch court hearings, depending on, whose YouTube channel it is. I like CLR Bruce Rivers, Real Law Talk with Mike, Legal Eagle. I watch other, YouTubers, especially if you're attorneys, give kind of breakdowns of some of these cases and stuff. The ones that's going viral, like P. Diddy and everybody else being sued. So, Letitia James, I'll watch Nate the Lawyer, Debt Free Dad. I love watching, any attorney that reacts to, some of these court hearings and lawsuits and stuff, because you learn a lot. I didn't go to law school, so I do. Mr. CKB, he's a lawyer, a particular lawyer. And he'll go over, he did a live stream tonight that I'm going to check out. It's like 3 hours long. So I'm going to go over that and check that out. But he went to law school. He clarified to me that he's not practicing law. He's not an attorney, but he did go to law school. And I do enjoy his content as well, and the supporter over there on his channel. So you guys make sure you take time to check out some of these other great content creators that, are doing content in ways that can help you to learn from a legal perspective what's going on. And I think true crime is just, it's like a mixture of just suspense along with the law, interrogation practices, those types of things that I, enjoy watching. I absorb that information. Never get to the point where you can't learn anything in life. That's how I see it. Yay. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's 11:21. If you are a member, please check out The Mysterious Case with the Twist. It is now available for you to review. And it is something else. It's 2 hours, but I guarantee you enjoy every second of it. It's an old case, but man, it is something else. It's something else. Yep. It's something else. So become a member. Check out that Mysterious Case with the Twist. And tune in for more great content here, you guys. We have a couple more lawsuits I wanted to get through with Kim Alston being named because she's horrible. And then, of course, keeping up with Super Stupid and her. We're going to do a video. I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow, a real quick one for Mother's Day, and kind of go over the food drive things she's done. Ugh, food drives. So I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. It's not going to be a long one, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My mother was here earlier. I appreciate all of you all. Loud Room Reacts, please have Miss Mandy send me an email and we can schedule something. Maybe we can get something going on next weekend to have a joint live stream to do, some true crime. I love it. Thank you, Laura, for holding it down. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe. Become a member. Go check out that video. That's on the members only. Happy Mother's Day. Mama love y'all. And until the next one, Lady Look out. Deuces.